All right, moving on to item number 13. Discuss and consider approval of an ordinance establishing a capital improvement advisory committee. And I'll defer to Kyle.
When we started talking about annexation and having to put in utility facilities for that, the thought of the impact fees was really an immediate question. Impact fees are where you can actually get some money per tap to help defray the cost of what the city is going to be putting in the area, for those fees. In speaking with the other cities in the area, and I called most of the cities in the area until I ran into the city of Rome, was actually the one that was talking about the fact that state law requires a capital improvements advisory committee before you can do the impact fees. I've not done impact fees other places, so that one surprised me. Spoke with our attorney, and that is in fact the case. State law requires a capital improvements advisory committee before you can really start working on impact fees. So what I have brought to the city council tonight is an ordinance establishing, and it's a standing committee, and it's a capital improvements advisory committee. Now this particular committee has a couple of duties, but the primary duty is to look at the capital improvements plan, that we actually have one from our city engineer, and look at the plan, and on a semi-annual basis make a report to the city council what they see about how we're doing toward that plan, and some ideas on what we might be adding to the plan. The other part of it is the impact fees.
Okay. I spent a lot of hours this weekend researching and rereading, and went back in my December notes where we had both issues brought up. There is nowhere where I see that the council has approved impact fees, so it's very hard for me to follow along with establishing a committee when we haven't even agreed on impact fees. Number two, this is a draft, and the council has not approved this as the city's official capital improvement plan. And until those two things are done, I am not comfortable with setting up a capital advisory committee at this time.
In actuality, the impact fees, you really can't talk about establishing the impact fees until after you have the committee. Now,
we can decide if we want.
That part is true.
That,
you can decide.
I did TML,
Yeah.
and we can decide if we want to do impact fees or not. And
That's
the
true.
council has not discussed, you gave us a lot of information last month, but the council itself has not discussed or decided to do impact fees.
That's true.
And neither have we approved that. So I find it, after spending hours of reading and going through all this stuff, I just don't feel like that it's something that we can do, that we need to do, come back next month and discuss whether we want to do impact fees. We can also come back next month and decide if we want to adopt this draft. And until we do those two things, I don't feel comfortable doing any discussion or making a motion on this.
I'm not sure that you need to approve the capital improvements plan, but that's something that the capital improvements advisory committee would be looking at for you to make advice to you what we have.
Okay, what I looked up is that it has to be a city-approved capital improvement plan.
Mm-hmm.
This, it says draft.
That's true.
It's not a
Now,
city-approved.
true, we have not actually voted on that particular plan, although we discussed it back during the budget
We
session.
used some of it in there, not all of it, we used some of it, but we have not officially adopted this as the city's capital improvement plan.
I would have no problem doing either one of those two at the next council meeting. If we want to discuss whether or not we should have impact fees,
That's something we can't discuss tonight because it's not on the agenda.
no, it's not. And putting the capital improvements plan on the agenda, that's fine also, because we've got a lot to say about the improvement plan. We've been doing a lot of work with that, and so it's something we're fairly familiar with at this point.
And also, just to kind of add to that, I noticed that our attorney Pendleton had recommended the second alternative for P and Z for this purpose, and when I called TML and talked with them, they said that your P and Z could serve in this purpose, and that there were several cities that use the P and Z board to do this. And my personal opinion is we're having difficulty getting people to serve on our P and Z, and to try to put another committee, plus the fact that what personnel is going to be over the second committee if we approve it, because there has to be agendas and minutes and paperwork filed. And what I see of our staff now, they're overloaded, so I'm just trying to state where I am now.
I do have the section, you know, the alternative is having the Planning and Zoning Commission to do that, to serve as that. I was recommending not to go that way, although my question, one of the feelings I was having a problem with was getting, you know, the people involved. Not knowing the people in town as well as y'all do, I didn't feel at all comfortable in trying to suggest a group of people for that committee. And looking at what we have to do to work to get the people involved in things, you know, that may be a good point. But we need to make sure that we have the right people in the planning and zoning, the ones that have some background. Now, one of the people that I know I would like to have on the Capital Improvements Advisory Committee, if we were doing that.
I just feel like we don't need to discuss that until we,
Okay.
and do I need to make a motion that we put impact fees and comprehensive plan on the next one, or is that just a recommendation?
You can just bring that up to Angie if you'd like to, the mayor on the next council.
Okay, I would like to do that, please.
We're still in discussion phase at this point with other councilmen.
I agree. What table is?
Well, I need to go to the audience. And we have a protocol here that y'all set up.
Okay.
We understand.
And that protocol is to go to the audience now, to give their opinion. So I'll go to the audience now at this point and get anyone that wanted to discuss and consider approval of an ordinance establishing a capital improvement advisory committee. You know, when we passed this protocol last year, there were many citizens that said they needed to speak, and I've been wondering lately where those citizens are that never come and speak on these agenda items that I was told that were wanting this so badly. Moving on to coming back to item number 13. Do I have a motion, or I assume to postpone this item to a further date?
You're not postponing the item.
I'm sorry.
We're talking about a different item. There's no action.
Y'all can take no
Take
action.
no
or
action.
table it,
Okay.
whatever y'all want to do.
Okay. We'll be taking no action on item number 13, excuse me.